So I love watching movies, I love reading books, and in July I didn't read a lot of books or watch a lot of movies, but I did watch like a few good ones, and I read some really good books. So I'll be discussing and kind of suggesting / reviewing them today. So the current book that I read that I really liked was this book. It's called, and yeah, it's clear now, Goodbye Perfect by SARA Barnard, and I think, yeah, that's how it's pronounced. So I recently, like 2 days ago, I finished this book, and the thing about this is it was a very simple story. It was nothing like, it was like the best thing that I loved about this book was that it was a really like complicated story, but it was written in such a simplified way that I loved reading it. It was about a girl whose best friend runs away with someone she never expected, and she had no idea this was happening. So how she finds out and what she does about it. So it's not a very different or very like wow kind of story, but it's written in such a good way that I really liked it. It was a good read for me, and I actually liked reading it, and I finished it in a really short period of time. I finished it in like a few days, so it was very good, and I love this one. A thumbs up from me if you want to try a good one. Next is, I love John Green's book. I don't know if you know this, but I love John Green books. I've literally read most of his books, like I think all of his books, I don't know, but I've read most of his books and I love them. Most of them, there are very few books that I don't like of his. So, and this book, Turtles All the Way Down, it's very popular, so you must have maybe heard of it or maybe not, but it's such a good book. I don't know, someone once told me that this was not a really good book, so I was like kind of scared to try it and stuff, but then I read reviews and stuff and it was good, so I was like, let's give this a try. So best thing about this book is it's about a girl who has OCD, and she's a very big overthinker. Due to that, she has OCD, and she's like really scared of germs and stuff. And that's a really simple thing, but the way it's projected, like obviously it's John Green, so it's written so nicely. And I remember the day this came, I ordered it online, so the day it came and I started reading it, and I couldn't stop. It's so good, and I just couldn't stop. And it's like so deep, and it made me think so much, not in a bad way, but in a really good way. And I felt so good reading it, and I just couldn't stop reading this book. It's just so good, and I finished it so quickly. Wow, I don't know, but it's really good. So as I already said, it's about a girl who has OCD, and she meets a guy who has everything in the world, but he doesn't have someone he could trust. And he has so much money, but he doesn't have a family and anyone he could trust, and he kind of has a little bit of trust issues and stuff. So it revolves around them and their friends and stuff, but it's really good. It's just really good, and I couldn't stop it. And it's John Green, so so I'm speechless, I guess, maybe, but it's really good. If you want to try, and if you're already a John Green fan and already read it, so comment down below your thoughts on it, because for me it's really good. And the my favorite thing is a movie that is 5 Feet Apart. I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but I have heard of it a lot, and I saw so many people on Instagram promoting it and stuff. And a lot of my friends have watched it, and they said it's a good movie, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I recently, today, I watched that movie, and it's so good. I can't tell you how good it was. I knew it was an emotional movie, and it was kind of really little bit, but kind of Fault in Our Stars, which we obviously all love. But the thing was, the second half was so beautiful. I cried the whole time, most of the time. The second half, I was crying like anything most of the time. So, and after, that feeling you get when you watch a really good movie, and you just you're so happy inside. I don't know how to define that feeling, but that's That was the feeling I got after watching that movie, and that movie just reminded me of why I love watching good movies and reading like good books that that make me like like that movie made me step into that character and actually like I don't know how to say it, but I was totally in the story, like wow, and it was so good. The ending is really heartbreaking but really beautiful, and I don't know. I am not gonna give any spoilers because you have to watch that movie. It's so good. And the guy who made that movie is Justin Baldoni. I don't know if you know him, but he's like a really famous actor, and I think it's his first movie. And kudos to him and the whole team, whole cast and everything because it was so good. And I highly recommend that movie. Like it was such a simple but so heart wrenching, and just like it takes your heart away and breath away or whatever. It's just so good. So definitely, if you can watch that movie, love 100% love for me. So that's it for my July favorite books and movies. Please recommend me more books and movies if you have any recommendation because I love watching them obviously, and I would love to try on your suggestion, like watch and try what I think about it. So comment down below too. I'll put my social media links down below too if you want to follow me on my Instagram or Twitter, whatever. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.